My beloved brothers and sisters, the spiritual world is more real than the physical world we see with our eyes. Yet many people live blind to its influence. What happens in the unseen often shapes what we experience in the seen. Witchcraft, sorcery, and demonic manipulation are not fairy tales or old traditions of ignorant people. They are alive and active in our generation, working silently in the shadows. One of the most disturbing practices found in witchcraft is the placement of salt under your pillow. This may sound strange or even foolish to some, but let me tell you, this is not an innocent act. It is a doorway, a spiritual invitation, and a way the enemy uses to manipulate, control, and infiltrate the life of a person. Salt itself, created by God, is pure, a gift of preservation and healing. Yet when it is used by witches under your pillow, it is not the salt that is evil, but the demonic intent that has been invoked into it. They take what is good and twist it for darkness. When someone places salt under their pillow, under the instruction of witchcraft, it is not for comfort or blessing. It is for control. It is meant to manipulate the mind, to bring strange dreams, to open portals in the night when your spirit is resting and vulnerable. Nighttime is when the soul is most sensitive, when the spirit is still, and this is when the powers of darkness try to enter. That salt, prayed over in witchcraft, becomes a weapon. It attracts unclean spirits, it entangles your thoughts, and it binds your emotions in invisible chains. You may begin to notice a heaviness in your sleep, strange presences in your room, or the inability to rest peacefully. And yet, many dismiss it as stress, as imagination, as a coincidence. No, my friends, it is not coincidence. It is spiritual warfare taking place in your bedroom. When such practices are done against you, or when you yourself, out of ignorance, follow such instructions, you may start to feel unnatural attractions or strange desires. People may begin to act toward you in ways that are not normal, showing you attention that is obsessive, unhealthy, and dangerous. This is the manipulation of witchcraft, using salt as a medium to shift spiritual atmospheres around your life. You may even notice that you are being pursued by people who do not know you, who suddenly become fixated on you as though something unseen is pulling them toward you. This is not natural. This is not the work of God. This is a counterfeit beauty, an illusion woven by demonic forces through such rituals. The frightening thing is that the victim often does not realize it. They may even enjoy the sudden attention or the false sense of attraction. But let me tell you, behind that is a plan to destroy your peace, to drain your energy, and to strip you of your God-given identity. Witchcraft never builds. It always steals, kills, and destroys. The salt under your pillow becomes a trap, a chain around your neck, and you may find yourself restless, confused, and spiritually weak. Dreams become disturbed, visions become polluted, and relationships suffer because everything around you is being influenced by a demonic atmosphere. This is why, my brothers and sisters, you must be awake. You must test every spirit and be discerning. Not every instruction is from God. Not every ritual is holy. The enemy has many disguises and knows how to appear as an angel of light. What seems like a simple practice may in fact be a deadly snare for your soul. Salt under your pillow is not a blessing. It is a curse when used with demonic invocation. Recognize it, expose it, and refuse it. For the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. The moment you allow darkness into your bed, you allow it into your heart, and that is where the true danger lies. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most subtle yet powerful signs of witchcraft working against a person is found in the words spoken over them. Words carry life or death, blessing or cursing. And when someone is under the influence of a beauty spell, you begin to notice strange compliments that feel different from normal praise. They are not the usual kind words that uplift and encourage. Instead, they carry an unnatural weight, a spiritual force that stirs something within you. You can almost feel it in the atmosphere that the words are not merely human, but charged with another power. This is because witchcraft has a way of using speech as a tool, a weapon, to reinforce the illusion it has placed over your life. When someone under a beauty spell walks into a room, people may suddenly remark on their looks in ways that feel exaggerated or unnatural. It is not just a simple, "you look nice today," but rather a statement that clings to your spirit as if it was meant to shape your perception of yourself. These words are heavy because they are spiritually backed. Compliments like this are not innocent, they are strategic. The goal is to make you obsessed with your appearance, to trap your mind in vanity, and to blind you from what is happening in the unseen realm. You may notice people repeatedly telling you how different you look, how radiant you are, or how they cannot take their eyes off you. While flattery in itself is not evil, when it carries an unusual spiritual weight, it is often a red flag. This kind of speech can leave you feeling unsettled even as it appears positive. Deep inside, you may sense that something is not right, that the compliment is not coming from the person themselves, but from something working through them. Witchcraft uses this to feed your ego, to draw you into agreement with the spell, and to make you desire the attention that the demonic has orchestrated around you. If you are not careful, you may begin to crave these compliments, to rely on them, and to measure your worth by them. This is where the danger lies, because once you accept the false praise, you begin to align with the deception placed upon you. What makes it more deceptive is that the people giving these compliments may not even realize what they are doing. They are simply instruments at that moment, their words influenced by a power greater than themselves. You will notice that the compliments come in patterns, often repeated by different mouths, all carrying the same strange force. It is not natural for so many voices to echo the same exaggerated remarks unless there is a spiritual manipulation behind it. The more you listen, the more the illusion grows, and the more you are pulled away from who you truly are. Brothers and sisters, when such strange compliments become a theme in your life, you must not ignore them. They are a sign of enchantment at work, of beauty being twisted into a snare. Words are seeds. And when those seeds are sown into your spirit with unnatural weight, they will either grow into pride or into bondage if you do not guard your heart. This is why discernment is critical. Not every compliment is a blessing. Some are chains wrapped in sweet language, spoken to keep you bound to a spell that was never yours to carry. Recognize the difference and do not let the power of strange words define you. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most dangerous traps of witchcraft lies in the manipulation of how you see yourself. The mirror, which was created to reflect only what is natural, becomes a tool in the hands of darkness to distort identity and fuel obsession. When a beauty spell is cast upon someone, they often find themselves irresistibly drawn to mirrors, unable to pass one by without looking at their reflection. This is not a simple matter of vanity or self-love. It is a spiritual pull, a strange force urging you to keep checking your appearance as though your life depends on it. What seems innocent is in fact a subtle chain designed to keep your mind enslaved and your eyes fixed on an illusion. When witchcraft influences your reflection, you may notice that the mirror no longer feels normal. Sometimes you see yourself more radiant, more attractive, more magnetic than you naturally are. At other times you may sense a slight distortion. Something in your face looks unfamiliar, your eyes carry a different expression, or there is an energy about your reflection that makes you uneasy. This is the mark of enchantment. The mirror becomes not just a piece of glass, but a doorway, reflecting back not your true self, but the image projected by the spell. The enemy wants you to fall in love with a false version of yourself so that you remain bound to the illusion he has created. This obsession does not remain harmless. The more you gaze, the more you become entangled. You start to spend excessive time worrying about how you look, checking and rechecking your reflection, unable to feel at peace unless you see yourself in the mirror. This fixation drains your energy, distracts your mind, and shifts your focus from your inner spirit to your outward shell. It becomes a form of worship where your reflection takes the place of God in your heart. Witchcraft thrives on this because the more you focus on the false beauty in the mirror, the less you focus on the truth within your soul. The reflection itself may even carry a spiritual heaviness. Some people have testified of seeing shadows move behind them in mirrors, or noticing that their eyes look darker, sharper, or strangely different than in real life. This is not imagination. It is the evidence of spiritual manipulation, of demonic forces using the mirror as a stage to display their work. Once this takes root, it begins to affect relationships. Others may be drawn to you in ways that are obsessive or unhealthy, not because of who you are, but because of the image projected over you. And yet, behind that attention lies emptiness, because no one is truly seeing you. They are only seeing the illusion. Brothers and sisters, the mirror becomes a battlefield in the hands of witchcraft. Instead of reflecting truth, it reflects deception. Instead of showing you reality, it entices you with obsession. And while you think you are admiring yourself, in reality you are feeding a spell that seeks to consume your mind and weaken your spirit. This is why such an obsession with mirrors is not to be taken lightly. When you find yourself irresistibly drawn to your reflection, when you feel that your image looks strangely altered, know that something deeper is at work. My beloved brothers and sisters, when witchcraft is at work through beauty spells, one of the clearest and most unsettling signs is the sudden rise of unwanted followers and pursuers in your life. This does not happen because you have suddenly become more charming, nor because people are simply noticing you more. No, this is the evidence of a spiritual net cast around you, drawing unhealthy attention and attaching dangerous souls to your path. You may find that people who once ignored you are now unreasonably interested in you. Some may follow you, send endless messages, or try to intrude on your personal space without respect for boundaries. Others may appear almost obsessed, as though they are under a force compelling them to keep seeking you. This is not natural. It is a spiritual manipulation created by a beauty spell. Witchcraft has a way of pulling people toward its victim, not to bless them, but to entangle them in confusion and destruction. When you see pursuers rising suddenly, when strangers fix their eyes on you with intensity that feels uncomfortable, you must recognize that this is not admiration, it is bondage. The spell is designed to make you appear irresistibly attractive in the eyes of others, but this attraction does not lead to healthy connections. Instead, it draws broken, obsessive, or dangerous people into your atmosphere, people who do not truly love you, but are trapped by the illusion surrounding you. Their words and actions begin to feel forceful, heavy, and invasive, as though they cannot control themselves around you. This is where the danger becomes clear. Unwanted followers and pursuers can quickly turn into tormentors. You may find yourself constantly watched, constantly bothered, unable to move freely without feeling eyes on you. You may notice that even when you say no, they refuse to accept it, as though your rejection has no power over them. This is because it is not your personality they are responding to, it is the demonic spell pulling them. This unnatural attraction can become threatening, leaving you feeling cornered, harassed, and spiritually suffocated. And yet, from the outside, others may not understand because they only see it as attention. But you know deep inside that this attention is not a blessing, it is a curse. Brothers and sisters, witchcraft never gives without taking something greater. When it draws people to you, it is not because you are meant to be celebrated, but because your peace is meant to be stolen. Every unwanted follower is another chain sent to drain your spirit. Every obsessive pursuer is another distraction pulling you away from your calling, keeping you preoccupied with danger, stress, and unrest. You will find that your time, your energy, and even your joy are consumed by trying to escape people who will not leave you alone. And while this is happening, the true goal of the spell is working, to weaken you spiritually so that you cannot see the real battle. This is why such attention must never be mistaken for a blessing. When you are surrounded by people who do not love you for who you are, but are driven by an invisible force, understand that this is a sign of witchcraft's hand against you. These followers are not sent to support you, but to suffocate you. They are not pursuers of your heart, but pawns in a larger game to keep you bound. This is the reality of beauty spells. They create false attraction, but behind that attraction lies torment, harassment, and spiritual danger. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the most destructive effects of witchcraft through beauty spells is the silent draining of your energy and your spirit. At first glance, everything may appear glamorous. People notice you, they compliment you, they are drawn to you as if some hidden light is shining upon you. Outwardly, it may feel as though you are elevated, as though you are gaining something, but in truth, you are losing everything that matters. A beauty spell is never a blessing. It is not the hand of God lifting you, but the hand of the enemy draining you while making you believe you are shining. This is the dangerous deception. While your face may glow, your spirit begins to dim. When such a spell is in operation, you begin to notice fatigue that has no explanation. No matter how much rest you take, your body feels heavy and your mind grows weary. You wake up in the morning, but it feels as if you have been running all night. Your spirit feels burdened, your prayers become weak, and your desire for the things of God starts to wither away. This is because the spell feeds on your inner strength. Every false compliment, every obsessive gaze, every unnatural attraction toward you is not building you up. It is drawing from you, draining your life force drop by drop. You are like a lamp that appears bright, but the oil is being stolen, and soon the flame will flicker out. This draining does not stop at your physical energy. It reaches deep into the soul. Suddenly, you may feel emotions that are not your own, sadness that comes without cause, restlessness that lingers through the day, or anxiety that rises in the night. These are not random feelings, they are the consequences of your spirit being tampered with. When the enemy uses beauty as a snare, he steals joy, peace, and clarity, leaving you empty inside. Outwardly, people see you shining, but inwardly you are fighting a storm of confusion and despair. That is the cruel irony of witchcraft. It makes others envy what you appear to have, while you yourself are suffocating under the weight of what they cannot see. Even relationships are affected by this draining. You may find that you cannot connect with others on a genuine level. Conversations feel shallow, friendships feel hollow, and love feels distant. People are not engaging with your true self, but with the illusion cast over you. And every time they do, a piece of your spirit is chipped away. You begin to feel unseen, unheard, unloved, even while surrounded by people. This is the emptiness witchcraft creates, an appearance of beauty on the outside, but a wasteland of spirit on the inside. My brothers and sisters, you must recognize this draining for what it is, a theft of your God-given energy, your spiritual vitality, and your peace. When you feel yourself glowing outwardly but breaking inwardly, know that it is not the blessing of the Lord, but the deception of the enemy. For God's blessing adds no sorrow with it, but the enemy's counterfeit always leaves you empty. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the surest signs that witchcraft is operating against you through a beauty spell is the sudden wave of envy, gossip, and attacks that seem to rise out of nowhere. You may notice that people who once loved you suddenly turn cold, friends who once supported you begin to compete with you, and individuals you barely know speak against you with bitterness and hostility. This is not a coincidence. It is not simply human jealousy at work. It is the spirit of witchcraft stirring up strife, because whenever the enemy lifts someone through an artificial illusion, he also unleashes envy and hatred around them to create chaos. The goal is to make you despised for something that is not even truly yours, to pit you against others, and to surround you with conflict that drains your peace. When beauty spells are cast, they do not just make others drawn to you, they also cause others to despise you. People may begin to whisper behind your back, asking why you are suddenly so attractive, why everyone notices you, why opportunities seem to come your way. They may not understand it themselves, but deep in their spirit they sense that something is off, and that uneasiness turns into jealousy. They may spread rumors, tear down your name, or even distance themselves from you without reason. What you are experiencing is the backlash of spiritual manipulation. Witchcraft thrives on division, and so it uses false beauty not only to entice, but also to provoke hostility. This envy can feel overwhelming because it often comes from unexpected places. Sometimes it is those closest to you, those who once celebrated you, who suddenly become your greatest critics. Their words grow sharp, their attitudes change, and you begin to feel surrounded by invisible enemies. At times you may wonder, what did I do wrong? But the truth is, you did nothing. It is not about you. It is about the spell that has been projected onto you. The illusion draws admiration from some and hatred from others, and you are caught in the middle of a battle you did not choose. The danger of this envy is that it does not remain only in words. People under its influence may begin to sabotage you, to compete with you, or to try to bring you down. You may notice doors closing, opportunities being blocked, or your name being tarnished in ways that are hard to explain. This is not just human behavior, it is spiritual warfare. The beauty spell has created an artificial elevation in your appearance, and with that elevation comes the rage of those who feel threatened, insecure, or deceived. Witchcraft manipulates both admiration and hatred, making you a target from every side. Brothers and sisters, this storm of envy and attacks is a weapon designed to break your spirit. While others envy you for what they see, you yourself may feel broken, drained, and misunderstood. It becomes a heavy burden to carry because you are hated for an illusion, not for your reality. And this is the cruel plan of witchcraft, to isolate you, to surround you with enemies, and to make you doubt your own worth by drowning you in gossip and hostility. This is why unexplained envy and sudden attacks are not to be taken lightly. They are evidence that something unnatural has been placed upon you, and that the enemy is stirring up strife to consume your peace. When you find yourself under this spell, you may notice that people pursue you passionately, but lose interest as soon as the illusion wears off. One day, they cannot stop complimenting you, cannot stop chasing after you, cannot stop demanding your attention. The next day, they turn cold, distant, or even hostile, as though they were never interested in the first place. This roller coaster is not a sign of normal human relationships. It is the manipulation of witchcraft. The same spiritual force that pulled them toward you pushes them away once the illusion no longer benefits the darkness. You are left with broken connections, disappointment, and confusion, wondering why people cannot see the real you. This manipulation also breeds distrust. You begin to question the motives of everyone around you. Do they truly care for you, or are they simply caught in the spell? Do they value your heart, your mind, your soul, or are they only here because of the false beauty hovering over you? These questions torment you because every relationship begins to feel uncertain. Even friendships can turn unstable because people are responding to what has been projected, not to the truth. You may find yourself surrounded by admirers, but still feeling utterly alone, because no one seems capable of loving you for who you really are. The tragedy is that genuine love struggles to survive in such an atmosphere. A beauty spell blinds others, and it blinds you as well. You may mistake lust for love, obsession for care, flattery for commitment, but as the illusion breaks, you are left with nothing but ashes, relationships that disintegrate before your eyes. This cycle repeats itself until you are weary, guarded, and perhaps even bitter. Witchcraft rejoices in this because its aim is always to destroy the very thing God values most: true love, true connection, and unity born from the heart. Brothers and sisters, when you see this pattern, relationships beginning quickly but collapsing without reason, people drawn to you with passion but leaving without explanation, friendships poisoned by envy or confusion, recognize it for what it is. This is not bad luck, it is not coincidence, and it is not you being unworthy. It is the mark of witchcraft interfering in your relationships, creating illusions so that your soul remains trapped in disappointment and isolation. It is one of the cruelest weapons, because while others see you as desirable, you remain unseen in the ways that truly matter.